Hello and welcome as today's date comes in that of the 10th day of August 2010. It's a Monday and welcome to the Money Charts channel where like always all bets, trades and of the like, well that's within each's own risk and their own reward. Silver crossed against the Canadian fiat dollar, fiat currency, and at 38.72 under $38.72 says. On the hourly term time frame, it finished the week off making a move to a high of $39.73. And how is it corrected from then? So I mean, that's it. I gotta say for a move. Okay, a little bit of a downtrend in here. So be it. That's what markets do. Oh, retracement mode. And I mean, it's been going up for so long, but from this high, this low, which is already pretty high from where it came from, it didn't give that much back. And then has a move in here getting above the 18 average of highs, a nice little, like barely giving much at all. And then the breakout as it's in a statement to regain the trend. Now we're going to have retracement from this low to this high within a primary uptrend. So within a primary uptrend, you have these down moves. All sell-offs, I believe, are guilty until proven innocent, and that's when I can see that the buyers are losing control, and they are, to me, still look like they are in full-fledged control of this market. So therefore, 9 o'clock into 10 o'clock, it comes up and it makes this high it's not seen since falling down from here and rising above in here, and now establishing this point. So now for the first time, it's had like 6, 7 or so consecutive periods. I mean, this was close with 4 or so above this number, or 4 or 5 consecutive hours where it's literally held above 38, 34. And it's just another way of saying supporting where we came from. Now we got a newly rising 18 in here. So within such, this is looking to me, if this continues on, well, we've already established level of resistance in here. It could be more full-fledged, or we could make it stronger throughout time. Maybe we have a longer sideways movement, but getting above this, we got this high, and then going above that, we're going to start talking about some other time frames, like 4-hour term in the Canadian dollar. Well, doing fantastic. A nice little breakout here, August the 4th, last Tuesday, and corrected within the 18. Now it's looking like it's in potential to leave such, and it is still well extended on the daily chart. It's been a phenomenal move in here, getting above this level of resistance on the Canadian front, 24 3/4. Nice straight up move into like the 33 range or so, but again now at 38, and we're going to have this market go up until it stops, and when it does, there's going to be a decent correction. It's just when will it happen, and that's one of the big situations to look for. Weekly time frame, there hasn't been a red candle since this, and there hasn't been. The second last one is here, and the last real one happened back on the March lows. And well, I guess you can call this one pretty good. It was down 4.8%. But 1, 2, 3, 4, all these periods in here just hanging in there for after this selling. No more sellers coming in, and it's been very large. Like the last 3 weeks before this, up 16.3, 6.9, and then 16 last week. Right now in the early stages, it's up 2.2 to start. This could be yet another large green candle. And when they get big and they don't stop, then they can just keep on getting bigger. So 16% could turn into like 25 and 30s. But even if it does do like closer to like a better than a 10% move from here, that'd be like $4. That'd bring it to like 43 or so. And then you'd be starting to talk about, we're pretty much getting close to this level. And now that we look at this is the highest silver's been in the Canadian dollar since the September high. It's now at the levels near the high point for the silver price going back to, the breakout points. So it's now in the early lower levels of this point. So yeah, not even close to points where we came from. And in comparison to the US fiat currency, we'll do the monthly term time frame here. And it's at $29.10. Back to levels as it was about to fall from March of 2013, so better than 7-year highs right now. And again, more well above these $19 and $20 levels. We look at this on, and yeah, I'm not going to move the time frame yet, but has just broken out past this. We've had a month of 30% up. Right now, 1/3 of the way through this month thus far. Holding to where we came from is the must-hold area. So 1888. It might sound like a big move, and it might be, but it's all that's big and small is a judgment call. But the previous levels of where we were resisting was 2085 and 1898. Thus, those would be some of the must-hold areas. However, if this thing doesn't stop resisting this area, because I've already talked about we should be finding resistance around now, and we're not. Well, I mean, it's still a decent amount of time where it still can. But if it doesn't, previous high on the US dollar front is 50. And then getting above that, I'm looking at about a 130. And then the cup and handle formation, you go up, as people love this type of chart. But it just shows you that the 1970s silver, which was already devalued at this point, which was like $1.50, way cheap. And it rallies, and maybe the 50 price might have been a little too high, and it doesn't show the 50, but that's where it went. It was up to this 50 mark. And then to sell it off, the sell-off as it was. And I mean, this is just I call it a nasty sell-off, especially if you're there thinking, oh man, silver's so cheap here back in like, say, 1984, when it was 7.25. And then you'd go, oh, and then 2000 and past 2004, it took like 22 years to break that level of resistance. So all the time that was spent in what people call like manipulating or suppressing the price down, well, that's over 22 years. And then from the move in here, so retracement back to previous high, noticeable higher low from the $4 change. And when we look at this, you could, if you go back to say here, some people might have said back in 1997, we'll never see silver under $5 again. Well, they were wrong because it went under 5. And then some people might have said here, oh, as we're breaking out in 2003 and into 2004, we'll never see silver under $5 again. Well, they're right. Yeah, they're right, because we'll probably never see it under that. It's obviously went higher, and now people might have been saying in here, we'll never see silver under 20, and I pretty much was one of them. But well, no, it went under 20. Now let's take a look at some of the daily chart, and the breakout of 20. The last time we seen silver under $20 was July the 20th. So July the 21st, if you said that, you might be right. We may never see silver ever again below 20. And when you see it like 120, 130, 140, it's pretty safe to assume you're going to be right. As 130 is the level in which I would have my price objective, to which I feel the price is going to go to. And I've now changed the exchange just because of the Fibonacci points, and well, it shows I got the key line in there because that's just a Fibonacci upside resistance. That we'll just see how these lines work. If it hits, it's just going to be luck that it does, because it usually is luck. And within it, we came up to this last key point of $28.58, and the Fibonacci represents the key resistance from this low to this high. So therefore, this would represent a 61.8% level. And if I see a move from point A to point B, violate this, get by it, and well, that tells me that this is a failed move. But if it doesn't, then this move from point A, which is the April highs of 2011, to the lows, would be a real move. But if it doesn't, that shows me it's a failed move. And I know it's going to be a failed move. It's just a matter of how the journey is going to look and the whens. And the whens have taken a long time, but boy, has it been a spectacular, beautiful break. Again, we can see these little bits of moves in here that happen from the lows up to like the 1780 point, which is prices we've seen all the time. We've been in this range primarily since 2014. Of between like 14 and like 18, even like 18 and change. That's pretty much been the price. 15, 16, 17, 18 and on any given day, week, month, year at that time. And a significant break, of course, above these levels of resistance. I wouldn't know what's more likely now. A move to 50 or a move, a retracement back down that takes us to go, or if we go below 20 for that matter. I don't know what would be next likely, because it could easily come back and we could find some support to do it later. And again, when we don't find resistance where we're supposed to, the times can get wild. So you don't expect, if we find resistance here, that is just going to make it up to this move and it's going to take its sweet little time to do it, because it usually never works that way. And the bigger more often it doesn't do it, the more extended these things get. I mean, Bollinger Bands are going crazy right now, probably. I don't have them in there. They've been probably saying, oh, it's way overextended here. Back when it was like $22. Okay. Well, buyers are in control until people stop wanting to buy at these high prices, and a big load of sellers don't come in. This is just going to keep happening. And of course you can say, oh, the markets are moving this way and that way. Well, if it's that way, and I pretty much know what you're referring to in that of quote-unquote manipulated markets, often in the past, if they had some huge moves occur, like, well, of course I've showed like 1970s, it goes from like, well, basically $2 to 50. And of course, even in here, the previous moves have been wild, though, because we had like, yeah, from like $8 to 50. What happened in here after it had this break, such a fantastic move? But when we look at the start of any of these moves, the start of from this low, from this breakout, well, from this one, well, this one's just beating any of these ones here. So it's an interesting break, to say the least. I didn't think it was going to do anything like this to make its break. I figured it would have been one of those, okay, make its way up to like here a bit, maybe come back down to like 18, then break out maybe to 24, back down. Well, I mean, and here it was, and it looks interesting because it almost looks like this was a big move. But in September and October, that's when we had like a 12 and a 14% up move. But it only got up to like $25 after breaking 20, and it took like 2 months, so 60 days of watching it slowly go up from 20 to 25. Well, here from 20 to 25, it was, well, to this high. This is July the 28th. This is July, like 1 week. So 2 months it took the last time to get there. And like about a week, maybe a bit more, not much more, to have that same kind of move. All right, then. I really don't have anything more to say. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great week. Bye-bye.